Hi, anyone and everyone. This is Kim, the Humble Hermit from Come As You Are Oracle. I'm going to do a collective for today. Today is Saturday. It is July 4th, 2026. You may follow me on the Attack the Tube, my blog, or not. Totally up to you. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. If it doesn't fit, don't make it fit. If some of it fits, God's kiss. We love that for you. Whatever doesn't fit, leave it on my table for someone else. You don't need to take on that energy. We're going to use the Intuitive Kev's Kipperish Oracle deck, 101 card deck, 101. Intuitive Gang LLC. His name is Kevin Thomas Jr. He has an Etsy shop. So look for him on Etsy. I bought all three of his decks for like $99. I want to say it was free shipping. I want to say $99 plus tax. Hope everybody's having a good 4th. I just had my neighbor come over and give me some free food, and I think I might be volunteering with her next month. She's doing a food booth at her church, and even though I don't really support organized religion or churches, I support her. So I might go help her with her table. It's like around the world kind of thing, so different foods from different countries, and she's from the Philippines. So she's going to have Filipino food, and yeah, I think I might go help her. I think that could be fun. We got 2 on the table, 3 on the table. What does that mean? I'm going to have to look that up. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. We got 4 on the table. I think it means a more, right? We got 5 on the table. We're going to do 2 more shuffles. I want some more cards. What it looks like to me is somebody is like spiritually bound to a Jezebel, and this Jezebel does like binding, last shuffle, like binding spells, death magic spells, to try and keep this person bound to them. Okay, we're doing one more shuffle. But I think that era is about to be over. I'm gonna leave this face up for a minute. Let me Google this word, because I think I know what it means, but maybe not. Oh, hello. I'm such a nerd. It's the word enamor. I'm looking at it like thinking it's some type, thinking it's a word from another language. Enamored. Like enamored. To cause someone to feel strong feelings of love, fascination, or deep admiration. Okay, let me show you what we got here, because this is interesting. This is another interesting one. We got 6 with bottom of the deck. We've got destruction. We've got enamor. We've got Jezebel. We've got bondage. We've got death magic. And bottom of the deck, we got family. All right, so 2 things could be going on here. Yes, what I said, a Jezebel could have like bonded themselves to like, I don't know, an earth angel, just like a quote unquote better person than themselves, a healing person basically. could have bound them to them with this bondage, could be working death magic on them. This would be somebody that would be considered family. This is going to blow up in the Jezebel's face, okay? Now, the other thing I'm getting here is, unbeknownst to them, another person is enamored with the Jezebel. Like, they don't realize that they're a Jezebel. This person is actually under a spell, okay? Some type of love spell, binding spell, like with the bondage. Some type of bonding death magic spell going on there. This would be somebody, obviously you're not going to be enamored with, like, I mean, you could be, right? In a platonic way, I guess, with a family member. But to me, this is like community, coworker, neighbor, friend group. Like, somebody's enamored with somebody and they don't realize that whoever this Jezebel is, like, this, they're going to fuck them up. Like, and it actually could be a bunch of people that are enamored with this Jezebel. Like, they don't realize what's going on there. Let me look at the top of the deck. Not my circus, not my monkeys. Yeah, somebody. I feel like either scenario, with top of the deck, either scenario, there's going to be judgment there. Like, there's going to be some type of divine intervention. Something's going to have to be realigned with this chakras. Something's going to have to be realigned. If this is, it doesn't matter which story. If this is somebody, a healing person that this Jezebel bound themselves to, or if this is a person / a community that loves a Jezebel but doesn't realize that they're on the dark side, there's some type of soulmate energy there. There's some type of concern for the transition of a soulmate. So let's just say, I'm just going to give you an example. So let's say they're both feminines, okay? This is a feminine Jezebel, a feminine healing person, and let's say they're friends, but this Jezebel bound them to them, okay? Is keeping them bound to them energetically. These two people might have technically been soulmates. And you guys know, soulmate doesn't necessarily have to imply lover. You can be a soulmate with your dog. So there's concern there about whether this loving, healing person is going to be able to move away from this Jezebel. I think that's why there's, at the top of the deck, the courthouse, the chakras, there's going to be some type of divine intervention to get this person away from this Jezebel. Like, the angels might be working overtime. And if this is a person, okay, if this is just some person from a community, a friend group, workplace, whatever, that's in love with a Jezebel, or chasing a Jezebel, or has feelings for a Jezebel, or maybe they're just friends, but the Jezebel has them bonded to them. Same thing. This is somebody that could be a soulmate of someone else's, and there's a concern there that they're going in the wrong direction, that they're chasing this Jezebel when they're really supposed to be going in another direction. And again, there's going to be some type of divine guidance there, some type of intervention, some type of ruling to realign the situation. which basically just means that whomever this Jezebel is, this is what they have for their future. It's not going to work out for them. And at the very least, it's not going to work out the way that they want. Like, that's going to be their karma. So, like, the healing person that could be a friend, like, they're going to be pulled from them. They're going to be pulled out of their energy. They're not going to have control over them. If this is a lover, a work colleague, somebody from a friend group, same thing. Like, they're going to be energetically pulled from this situation, and they're going to be, saved by the divine, because they went in the wrong direction. Because here's the thing, and I've said this before, dark witches, Jezebel, however you want to refer to them, they can do all the magic they want to hold somebody in place, to bind somebody to them. But here's the thing, if God has other plans for them, that's where they're going to go. At the end of the day, God is going to make sure that whoever needs to be saved is saved. It might, it would vary upon situation, right? Because God might just let it play out for however long until they're like, okay, this butthead isn't getting it. Like, we need to pull them out of this situation. Like, they're not seeing the signs, they're not seeing the synchronicity. You know what I mean? Like, they're not using their intuition. So we got to pull this jackass away from this Jezebel. And Jezebel's just an energy. It could be masculine, it could be feminine. It doesn't really matter. This technically could even be a group when you think about it. The Jezebel. I should have said that on the reading the other day, because I had a reading with the Jezebel. It doesn't necessarily have to be like a singular person. It doesn't have to be feminine. It could be too, like I said, like the Jezebel could be a part of the family. They could be considered family. You know what I mean? It could be the family. You'd have to take how it resonates for your situation, if this even resonates for you. Because this is kind of, I wouldn't say it's specific, but it's specific enough, like this wouldn't necessarily resonate for me, because I don't think I'm under anybody's thumb. I could be wrong, but I live my life. I move along. I'm doing what I need to do. Like, nothing is really stopping me. I keep going. I go at my own pace, and I tend to be a procrastinator. I've always been like that. But I don't feel like anybody has any control over me. I don't feel like anything has slowed down for me to the point where, like, oh, somebody put a curse on me. I don't look at it like that, first of all. Even though I know that kind of shit is out there, even though I have experience with that with certain people in my life, like, I don't believe any of that affects me, especially at this point in my life and where I am and what I believe in and whom I believe in. I don't think any of that shit hits me. Again, it's not to say that it's not out there, right? But just because I don't believe in it, just because I don't think it's happening to me, doesn't mean it couldn't be happening to somebody around me. You know what I'm saying? And I could liken this to the ex-best friend, like she would be the Jezebel. I could liken this to the women at work with the guy I was in love with last year. They would be the Jezebel. I don't know that for sure. I just have, feelings, and, I have my intuition, and I rely on my intuition, and I believe in my intuition, but do I 100% have confirmation on anything? No, not really. No, not really. I don't really, like I've said before, like I feel like in my situation, the young woman at work that got between me and the guy I was in love with, like, that's how I believe it happened. That's how I believe it went down. Is it for me to continuously, like, judge the situation, judge them? Like, that's up to God to figure that out, because it also depends on the guy that I was in love with. Like, what is his journey? Where is he supposed to go? If he's And you guys know I don't really believe in rank, but 5D energy, if you believe in the 5D, angels, ancestors, dearly departed loved ones, they have ranking. They believe in ranking. So if the guy who I was in love with last year is ranked above the two women that would be considered the Jezebel, then at some point God would step in and extract him from that situation, make him open his eyes, make him see. You know what I'm saying? If they're like all on the same level, God, this could just be a part of all their journeys. Like it's just going to play out how it needs to play out. I mean, it really just gives the energy, and I say this to you guys all the time. I just don't understand. Pardon me for yawning. I just don't understand why people think it's okay to behave like that. Like, why would you think it's okay for you to do a spell to bind somebody to you? I'm doing spells to get people to leave me alone. Like, go be in your own energy. Like, I don't want you in my energy. And here's somebody doing spell work to keep them tethered to them. For what? For what? You're an energy vampire. You can't be alone for 5 seconds. You need somebody's energy to survive. Like, what's the deal? You know? I don't know. All of that stuff just, I guess it's just over my head because, and I've said this to you guys before too. Like, I don't manifest, I don't do spell work for somebody else's destruction. I do positive spell work, positive manifestations for things I want to do for myself, you know? I don't give a shit about, making sure somebody can't eat or can't have a new car or, their pet passes away or, like stupid shit. Like, like that's what you spend your time doing is making sure other people have miserable lives? Then your life is miserable. Then you're miserable. I just wouldn't want to live like that. Like that's not at all how I would want to live. When I get upset, and I talked about this last night, when I get upset with a situation, like the guy that I was in love with last year, the two friends that ditched me to go be friends with him, that tried to get involved in the situation so that they could move me away from him and vice versa. Yeah, it pisses me off. Yeah, it makes me angry, not just for myself, but for him because he's still in that situation. He's still being manipulated. He doesn't know what's going on, or I guess he doesn't know what's going. Maybe he does. I don't know. Yes, it upsets me. But at the end of the day, am I going to let that eat me alive? Because I have to move on. And I mean, I started moving on last year. It's not like I sat around and waited. But healing wise, like I'm probably going to be healing from this for a while, a long while, because I take things personally. I have feelings. You know, when I love you as a person, when I invest in you and then you screw me over after I've told you I've been screwed over how many times and I had to walk away from shitty people, and what, you didn't think I was going to walk away from you? You thought you were going to come back? Like, I'm confused. So I'm going to be healing from that situation probably for like another 6 months to a year. And I'm not even kidding. But that being said, I'm healing and I'm moving. And like I said yesterday, every day, every hour is different. Sometimes I'm pissed off and angry. Sometimes I don't care. Sometimes I wish them well. It just goes back and forth. That's what healing is all about. And I think overall, I would just say what I said about the ex-best friend. It took me 2.5 years to get to the point where I don't want to have anything to do with her, but I wish her well on her journey. I wish for her healing. It's the same lines for the guy at work that I was in love with and the two friends. Like, I wish for them healing. Like, they all three need some healing, especially those two women. Very male centered women. Like, you threw over an amazing female friend that did a lot for you, that gave a lot, that loved you unconditionally. You threw me over for him because he's a male, because he comes from money. Like, I'm confused. I just I'll just never understand it. But at some point, I'm going to wish them well. And that's really all the feeling that I'm going to have left for it, you know? I don't know. Take how it resonates for you. I'm going to leave it there. I hope it resonates for somebody. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope, if anything, you're entertained. I hope you all have a fabulous 4th, a wonderful weekend, and I will talk to you later. Bye.